What's going on, a Copywriting Call podcast? Your boy Loso 2.0, the copy got himself. Let me take a seat here, man. And today I'm going to give you guys some tips for social media, okay? But first thing first, I want to update you guys on everything. So, first of all, for starters, I'm a little out of breath, though, because the one thing I noticed about, starting this new position at work, and especially now getting some great insights on what to do to grow my business, I've been pretty much just like working a lot more just to coach everybody up. Now I do have to get a little bit better with my time management and stuff like that as far as my job stuff. Like there's stuff that's scheduled that I got to get into, but I'm still learning the ropes, man. I'm going to get better. I made a commitment to my boss to get better at that time and stuff. Missed a couple trainings and stuff, but it's all good. I'm going to figure it all out. As far as my book, I'm halfway done editing it, so that the editor can actually take a look at it, which it should. I will definitely be done. Like, she has my commitment to be done by this week. Most definitely about that. Also, too, so yesterday, I was getting quite a bit, not even just yesterday, today, getting quite a bit of backlash on my last post about how heaven is not really a real place, but yet a state of mind, not like a physical place, but it's a state of mind in which your mind, body, and spirit are all connected. And, people are just backlashing. Everybody's giving their opinion, which there's nothing wrong with giving your opinion. I actually encourage you to comment below, to like, to subscribe, share, all that stuff like that. I definitely encourage that stuff because I like great feedback and I don't know all the answers in the world, right? Like somebody asked me, well, then where do we go if we die? I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that, right? That's not my job to know the answer to that. I'm not the Most High, that's not me, right? But I know also God is within us and around us. He's all, he's omnipotent. So, or omnipresent, my fault. So that's why I'm like, I don't know all the answers, but this is what I've done off my own research. Now, you could take offense to that. If you do take offense for that, maybe the word's not for you, but there's some people that actually agreed with what I was saying. I was like, you know what, that actually is true. Like, to even think that, so it's just so much stuff that goes into it. I'm telling you, this is not something new to me. It's happened my whole life. You'll read it about it in my book, though, right? As far as, my, I had a game. What was yesterday? How was it yesterday? Sunday. I think I already told y'all about that, about how the freaking guy won by another buzzer beater. Like, another person won by a buzzer beater, which is just crazy, like, ridiculous. Like, I'm just like, yo, how does this keep happening? Like, we're blowing them out. I'm doing my thing. We're cooking up. And then we lose. It's whatever, though. Just another loss, another thing just to, build on to last week, because you win some, you lose some. That's what my somebody actually met somebody today that actually used to be a former MLB player, and he was just talking to me about that stuff, about how he was hanging around successful people and stuff like that. And that's another thing I got from him, right? It was like, hang out with successful people who want to grow, people who want to be better, and you're going to get better too. And he's a millionaire, and he just retire for 10 years. He just can just chill now, right? So that's really cool, though. And I'm like, yo, this is really amazing, though. Like, I'm actually getting some great feedback from somebody. But that's really not what the bulk of this post is, though, right? Bulk of the post is really just giving you some tips for Facebook and Facebook advertisements. Oh, yeah, and of course, another thing to update on my wife, right? She has a couple appointments this week. This weekend is actually my birthday. Well, Monday is actually my birthday, so I'm going to be excited for that. I'm going to be 25 years old, so that should be pretty exciting or whatever. So anyway, though, so things that you want to do, right? So first of all is some tips that I'm reading from the book, jab, 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 hook or whatever, is first of all, make your content visually compelling, right? You don't want your content to look too boring or bland or anything like that, especially now where I said it's the social media age where you only get like a couple seconds in order to make a great impression of somebody. Remember, first impression is everything. So you want to make your content visually compelling that actually jumps off the page and actually shows somebody, oh, wow, this person, like, what is that right there that I'm looking at, right? Another thing is not to put too much text. Again, like I said, you're not having that much time in order to make an impression on somebody. So it's really important to do it in as short amount of words as possible, right? It sounds a little misogynistic, but this is what, one of the great copywriters, Joe Sugarman, actually said. He said, make your writing like a woman's skirt, right? He said, long enough to cover everything important, but short enough to keep people's attention, right? And that, that's really sounds crazy, but it's true, though. You want to make sure that you're not putting too much context, too much text in it, right? Place your call to action in the right place, right? Make sure your call to action actually is something that's in the correct place in order to get people to, pick your stuff or do something. Don't have too many call to actions because, like I said, like a confused mind doesn't buy. A confused mind does not buy. If you have too many things, my fault, the game's on in the background with the kiss cam, but if you have too many pretty much things that need to be done, or too many call to actions, or too many things you're trying to sell, a confused mind never buys. They buy off of emotion, so that's getting ready to connect with the person, and then they back it up with logic, right? So that's actually making it logical for them, right? Another tip for, Facebook, stuff like that, like make your text fun, right? Make your ad look fun or engaging, right? You don't want it to be so boring and bland, like I kind of stated before, right? You could put a nice little great photo in there, make some color in there, whatever you got to do to kind of spice things up a little bit, but you don't want it to be boring. Like, you don't want the text to read boring, right? That's another thing. Putting dramatic photos, right? Same thing, great photo. Make sure that your content is legible on the phone, right? Because you got to remember, people are going to be reading majority of times. We're on our phones more than we're on laptops, computers, or anything like that. So you got to make sure when you put your content out there on Facebook or Instagram, or whatever you would do, that make sure it's ready for a phone too as well. Now, these are just some tips right here, right? But there's plenty of more, and I'm gonna continue in this YouTube episode as well on them, right? So another thing, right, is they should not be longer than 1,000 words. Again, the same thing right there. Don't give away too much too soon, right? So Facebook ads it's funny because this all pretty much goes back to sales. Again, like something I was teaching my people, right? I was like, how confused mind doesn't buy. You give away too much of the sauce, you lose things called leverage, right? So I would tell them, like, yo, listen, if you know somebody John Wall's back. That's what we needed. But if you know somebody is, buying something from you, and there's some other ways that you can actually present them with a better offer. When someone's saying that they don't want something, or they're saying that they can't afford it, they're not saying that they can't afford it. That's just the words that come out of their mouth. What they're really saying is, in the back of their head, is what you are presenting to me is not worth enough money, right? And I do this example all the time, right? So for my sneakerheads out there, I was like, yo, listen, what if, would you buy a pair of Jordans for like $250, right? Most people will say, yeah, depending on the Jordan, it's that and the third, especially their sneakerhead, right? Now, if I say I want to sell those same Jordans for $2,500, like 10 times as much, you may say, no, that's crazy, I'm not buying it, right? But then if you say, I will sell you these same pair of Jordans for $2,500, they were worn by Michael Jordan in his last basketball game ever, and they're signed and autographed by him. You may say, yeah, I did not change the sneaker, I only changed what's inside it. So if you can find ways to create a better offer for somebody, you don't just give up that stuff too soon. You have to intrigue their intention first, right? So intrigue their attention so that they can always come back to you. Oh, that's a dime. So they can come back to you and then actually, continue to work with you, right? Or you can actually keep them going on to the next thing. Another thing is make it easier for them to access your website. Now, that's one thing that I do need to get on, and that's creating a website for myself, because it makes yourself more professional. It's another way to kind of visually see everything that you got to offer. So definitely something I need to do as well. Now, these are just some tips that I'm learning right now from reading the Jab, 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 Right book, right? So everything I'm teaching you guys is stuff that I'm learning from my own books, things I'm learning from experience, everything, and things that I'm implementing into my, my own work. So, I don't know all the answers. I'm not perfect. And that's something that I also talked about today, right? Like in the beginning of the video, right? People are trying to, bash me on Instagram and, oh no, you need to do this. In Bible, it says this and it says that. Hey, listen, you believe what you believe in. I believe what I believe in. I do my own research. I don't listen to a pastor / motivational speaker on anything that I do. Same thing for my marketing, all the stuff like that. I do this stuff myself. I fail, make my mistakes, but I also do my own studying as well and try to grow. Because all I'm about is making improvement from the last day before, right? So you're not going to have all the answers, but you will be able to grow from your last thing. So that's really pretty much all I had today. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment below, share this channel or this video whenever you get a chance. And if you're listening to this on any type of my podcast, please 5-star reviews, and then leave a review below so I can, improve my stuff, man. So keep killing the dance. Remember, you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.